Have you been facing issues with your iOS devices when enrolled with Intune to synchronize your contacts from native Contacts app to your Outlook and vice versa? Then this video is for you. Hello everyone, hope all are safe and welcome to another session. Today we'll be discussing on how to solve a major problem that's been haunting admins like me about iOS devices contact synchronization to and from Outlook and native contacts. So I've been working on this issue for quite some time, and thanks to a Microsoft engineer today with a recent ticket, I want to really thank him. His name is Mohammed, and he has helped me to fix this issue, and I would like to share this on how we did that. So I'm not getting into much details about iOS enrollment. I will put a link to that video. So let's assume that you have a device which is already enrolled, and then we will use a new configuration policy to set up your synchronization. So I am on my endpoint microsoft.com, where on my devices iOS on my configuration profiles. So all I'm gonna do is gonna create a new profile. I'm just copying the name. So we will create a new profile for iOS, and we will use an email profile. Let's create. We'll give it a name called email profile. Next. So configuration, we will keep, I'm just keeping my configuration, say IT squad, and we will select the AAD attribute as user principal name, and email address attributes as primary SMTP address, and authentication method as username and password, SSL enable, OAuth enable. Here is where you actually sync your data. So I'm still gonna use Outlook for my email, and what we are actually now doing is to create an Exchange ActiveSync connection on your iOS device, where it will sync. In my case, I'm only gonna sync calendar and contacts only, and then I'm not allowing my users to change any settings. That's all you need to do. So the key things that you need to remember here is the email address attribute, which should be the primary SMTP address. You should have OAuth enabled, and the Exchange data to sync to have calendar and contacts in my case. Click next. Assign a group. So I have an iOS device group which I'll be using. Select that DOS group and click next and create. So what you have now done is to have an Exchange ActiveSync, as I said, which only syncs my calendar and contacts. Now what happens with this is Outlook will take care of emails, but now you have enabled a connection on ActiveSync, Exchange ActiveSync, which will synchronize your contacts. You need to do one more thing just to make sure that this does not have a configuration problem with your Outlook, because now Exchange ActiveSync is going to sync, and if you have a contact in Outlook, that might create a duplicate entry. So to avoid that, what we'll do is we create an app configuration policy. You create an app configuration policy. Let's create add devices, manage devices, and we'll call it here IT squad Outlook contact. I'm just giving a descriptive name, sync no, and we'll say platform is iOS, select app will be Outlook, you select the Outlook app and then click next. So the only thing that you're gonna do here is we'll use the configuration designer and then the save contacts to turn off. That's all we are going to do. Again, select the groups, the same device target group, and next. So this way you're stopping a duplicate contact that syncing from Outlook and Exchange Active Sync. So we are just stopping with this. We have done your part on your Intune. Now let's look at on the iOS device. Let me quickly connect to my iPhone. So after this policy was applied, I get an option to enter the password for an Exchange account. So I go edit settings. So this is where your iOS is actually creating an Exchange connection, which you should see here. From settings, contacts, I'm on iOS 14.1. Your accounts would be on outside the contacts if you are on 13 or older version. On iOS 14, it's in settings, contacts, accounts. So you can see here, it's, as I mentioned, it's only syncing contacts and calendar and everything else is off. But I need to authenticate once. So I'm going to enter my credentials here and just sign in. It will ask you the permissions. I would say accept. And then once it accepts, it basically creates that account, authenticate the account, and then you have your accounts, contacts, and calendar synced. One last thing to do is once you create the second account, you need to come back and then you should select the default account and set to your Exchange account. So now you have your account set, your Intune policy is done. Let's go back to my contacts. I've created this test account and I'm going to go to my Outlook. So it gives a message saying admin has enabled contact save. You said okay. While that is syncing, let me add an account from a account. So let's say add to contact. Done. So I've added Zach. I go to my people. I have Zach here. So I have just checked the sync. It just took few seconds. So I'm connected back. So I can see Zach and test. I'm going to Outlook. I have Zach. Probably it's not syncing yet on this one, but I can see it's already synced here on my Outlook. Let's do one more thing. I'll go back to my email and we'll add one more user from Outlook and then one user from my iPhone and then just check one more time. So okay, let's try this one. So I'm going to click on this user. I'm adding this user to the contacts. Say create. Okay. So the user is already here on my contacts now. So let's create another one. Add number, create new contact, test 2, done. Saved. So I have test and test 2. Let's look at people section here and see if we see the test 2 account that we just created. There you go. The test 2 account is here. So I think this is one of my major pain point, and I believe this has been solved. So I'm going to check my global address list. Okay, so I see that tested user 1, the gal works. One last thing I want to check is the calendar. I have my calendar already here, so I'm gonna add my calendar, show my calendar, and I will create an event on my calendar and then see if that synchronizes. So that wraps up the whole synchronization solution. So let's create something for 26. Test sync. Okay, event created. So we will go back to our calendar, and then there you go. Your testing account is. So with this, just these two settings, having a device restriction or a device configuration profile and the Outlook block, we have now solved an issue that's been causing so many problems for us. I believe it's been discussed a lot on communities, and then Microsoft recently released a document about this, but it was a bit confusing. I hope with this video it's very clear on how to take care of this. So as you've seen, with just an email profile and an app configuration to block Outlook sync, now it's very easy to synchronize your contacts back and forth between iOS native contacts and Outlook. And along with that, you get the power of the global address list, sync, and your calendars. I hope it will be useful for people who has been looking for a synchronization solution now. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more videos. Thank you once again. Stay safe. Bye.